The women's champion might be on a revenge tour, but the Liv Morgan's ratings tour goes from strength to strength, with Raw doing its highest rating since the Raw after Mania 40. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Good news for Monday Night Raw. This week they did their best Raw rating since the Raw after WrestleMania 40, which is crazy because last week they did their best rating since the second Raw after Mania, but the rating went up this week, and now it's the best Raw rating since the Raw after Mania. So the fact that they're beginning now to get ratings that are better than the first couple of weeks after Mania, when they still had like the fallout of Mania 40, you still had like the new champions, The Rock, etc. It goes to show you that if you put on good shows, if you're consistent and you create entertaining television, then the ratings will go up. We've heard for pretty much years all these excuses about how ratings are, you can't help it, people aren't watching wrestling anymore, people don't have TVs, people are getting rid of cable, people don't watch television. It's bullshit. If you create good television, people will watch it. There's a reason why when SmackDown was good, like 2, maybe 3 years ago, it was getting mid 2.5 million, like consecutively every single week. It was consistent, and now we've seen SmackDown begin to drop off because SmackDown is not as good as it was 2 years ago. And now we're seeing Raw beginning to increase because right now Raw is actually pretty decent, and it is the best show of wrestling easily of the week, whether it be WWE, AEW, any other promotion. Raw right now is the best show, despite it being 3 hours. If you could make Raw a 2 hour show, just think how much better this would be without that extra hour of filler. But yeah, this week's rating, a 1.878 million. So this is up 4% from last week's 1.814. And like I said, it is the highest since the April 8th Raw edition. The 18 to 49 demographic is also up, and this is the highest demographic also since the 8th of April. So both the highest viewership and the highest key demo since the Raw after Mania. The demo this week was a 0.62, and that is 2% up from last week's 0.61. So the numbers are going up. Raw is actually pretty entertaining to watch right now. So you've got the Judgment Day stuff, you've got the Liv Morgan and Dom stuff, you've got the Drew McIntyre and Punk stuff, you've got Braun Breaker destroying people, Chad Gable doing the best work of his career, and you've also got obviously the new Wyatt Six. So there's things definitely worth watching on Raw. Is there some trash in there as well? Yes, but let's be honest, guys, it's wrestling. There's always been trash in wrestling. Some errors had less than others, but there's always been stuff that just wasn't very good. And, obviously we still deal with that. But I'd say right now, this Raw, this is probably the most consistent Raw has been in a long, long time. So, yeah, let's give credit to it because I think since, I wouldn't say since Mania, but I would say about at least the last 6 weeks, 2 months, Raw has picked up big time. And one reason for that is Liv Morgan, and we're going to look here at the numbers because she has stolen the 2 top spots when you look at the YouTube clips from Raw. And once again, it just proves that people want to see hot, attractive women. People want to see women in adult themed storylines. We want to see these attractive women. We don't really care if they wrestle, if they can apply a sharpshooter, and that's going to piss some people off because they want to pretend that women's wrestling's great. But there's a reason why Liv Morgan right now is bringing in the numbers, and it's not because she's the champion, it's not because she's defending her title or she's having a match on Raw. It's because we're actually getting a fun storyline, this like romance between her and Dominic Mysterio. We're getting an attractive hot woman who's acting sexual with a guy. We're getting to see this. And it's interesting, just like back in the day, I truly believe the best era of women's wrestling was the Ruthless Aggression era because you actually had the likes of Trish, Lita, Victoria, women that were improving as wrestlers, but still being hot, still being attractive, and that is what we're kind of getting with Liv Morgan now. You know, she is attractive, she is hot, and she is, I guess, improving as a wrestler as well. So it's a good mix. You don't want just, nobody wants these like trash women that just offer nothing but their body or nothing but their looks. You don't want that. You want like a combination of both. And I think that is truly why the Ruthless Aggression era had the best women, and we're seeing that right now with Liv Morgan. So I think it's pretty good. Anyway, let's look at the numbers. So first place with 550,000, Liv Morgan cost Dominic Mysterio a win against Rey Mysterio. Obviously, during this we had Liv Morgan and Dominic. Dominic this time was sitting on top of Liv Morgan, so people were interested in that. In second place, we had 519,000 views. Liv Morgan and Seth Rollins continuing to disrupt the Judgment Day. So again, it's more people tuning in to see the Liv Morgan stuff with Dominic Mysterio. But if you look at Liv Morgan's match against Selena Vega, it was in 7th place with 261,000 views, so less than half of the two top videos featuring Liv Morgan. So this shows you that people care more about the Liv Morgan Dom stuff than they do Liv Morgan wrestling in the ring. So it just goes to prove my point. Number 3 on the list, we have Bo Dallas to Uncle Howdy. I Set Them Free. This got 403,000 views. 4th place, we have the full match with Drew McIntyre qualifying for Money in the Bank, 377,000 views. 5th place with 271,000 views, we have Chad Gable promises to watch Otis's back against the Wyatt Six. And in 6th place, we have 270,000 views. Braun Breaker delivers 2 monster spears to Sami Zayn. So that is the YouTube views, and it's no surprise to me that it is the Liv Morgan stuff that is at the top. But when it comes to Liv Morgan wrestling, it was bottom of the list. So that tells you all that you need to know. So, I mean, it is what it is. Trish Stratus is considered to be, by many, like the greatest of all time. And yes, she improved in the ring, and by the end of her career, people definitely respected Trish as a wrestler, and I enjoyed Trish's matches. But it's because Trish was having matches that suited her, and then, yeah, you had the odd one that would go long, but most Trish's matches were 7 minutes. She didn't pretend to be as good as the men. She didn't try and wrestle like the men. She tried to wrestle that diva style, and I think it worked. I think that was personally the best blend of women's wrestling, so maybe we can go back to that, but nobody cares. Honestly, nobody cares about these women putting on 20-minute matches and trying to wrestle like men. It doesn't draw. You're appealing to a small minority. The average viewer that have tuned out and no longer watch wrestling, they don't want to watch women's wrestling. They want to see hot women. It is what it is. Just like women's basketball or any sort of women's football, it doesn't matter. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. The majority of people don't want to watch that. So it is what it is. Liv Morgan right now, bringing in the numbers. I think they'll keep this going. Who knows? Maybe when they go to Netflix, they'll even start creating some riskier content. Could happen, might happen. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, that's it. Numbers don't lie. I know some people are going to get upset because they want women's wrestling to be the big draw here. They don't want women to be hot. They don't want women to be attractive. But the fact is, that is like their biggest selling point. It is what it is. You know, just like The Rock's biggest selling point was his charisma and his mic skills, the women's biggest selling point is their looks and what they can do, you know, as a woman, as a feminine character. And it's good to see them actually exploring that with Liv Morgan, rather than Liv Morgan coming out. Could you imagine if Liv Morgan's current run was just coming out and all she did was get in the ring and say, I want to wrestle. I want to prove I'm the best wrestler on Monday Night Raw. Do you think anybody would give a shit about that? Do you honestly think people would give one fuck? No, that would not bring in views. So, yeah, we'll see how things go, but numbers don't lie, guys. Till next time, peace.